Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Pauline Baird. I'm a Guyanese, Buxtonian Guyanese. I was born in the village of Buxton, Guyana, and I grew up there and spent most of my life there. Over the course of my studies, I've searched for information about Buxton, and I couldn't find information on the internet or in many books about Buxton. But I found a little bit, and what I saw was sometimes very contradictory. And I've come to the belief, and I agree with Oswald McGarrell, that people think they know Buxton, but they don't know Buxton. So it's my intention to let people know about Buxton and to remind ourselves about Buxton. I tell whispered stories, family histories, hidden and practiced traditions. And I'm going to use two languages, English and Creolese. So friends and Buxton people, what does story say? Well, people at Buxton can read. Buxton people can read. They just read all kind of thing, and they just read books. And you might wonder, why am I talking about reading? Do I have to make a defense for Buxtonians reading? Oh no. But you see, once a woman asked me about Buxton, and the question she asked made me realize that a village is not the same to everybody. She asked me if there were huts in our village. I don't know about any huts in the village. She wanted to know if we had certain kind of trees and about her lifestyle. Well, let's talk about reading. Okay, so this is a book. A big encyclopedia. Buxton people just read books like this. Books are encoded messages, and when you read them, you decode the messages. But when Buxton people read, they just read more than books. And so I got to thinking, what are the literacies of Buxton people? Where do they get their literacies from? And I have concluded that we get our literacies from our land-based practices. And when I say land-based, I mean the literal land, the air, the water, the surroundings, and everything. In Buxton, they get a saying, little by bicycle na got brakes. Little by bicycle ain't got brakes. Well, let me tell you. Suppose when you're little, your parents send you on errands, especially little boys. Your mother send you to Newton shop to buy 12 tennis roll and quarter pound nut butter. You take off and you're gone. You see two stray dogs, you watch them, maybe you chase them. You see people playing marble, you stop and pitch marble. You know what I'm talking about? Cricket, you're there, you linger in. And then you finally end up at Newton shop and the line long. And then you go home 2 and 3 hours after. So old people had a way of putting a nip in the bud. They used to use the land. They tell you, you go and run this errand, and before you come back, the spit must dry. So they spit in the dirt. And you better take off and go and do the errand before the spit dry. They use the land to mark time. That's spit literacies. Now, another kind of literacy they have with the land and when they read is this. Now, if many of you can remember Teacher Fred Seaford and Teacher Ivor Seaford, they were two brothers, I understand, educators. But every morning you would find them at the line top when we had the train line reading the newspaper. They would meet there. They had their separate homes and their families, but they would meet there as brothers. And they would read a newspaper, local news, regional news, international news. And they would do the what the story say exchange. And they used to be there early in the morning. Early. Well, Buxton people have a way of telling time. Now, they use a certain kind of understanding and a certain natural creature. They tell time by bird. Yes, you heard right, bird. So when old people get up early, they get up early before bird wife wake. So you can say, you all are going to go to town, but I'm going to get up early before bird wife wake. Well, the eyes pass bird. So it means that bird, the male, is sleeping late, maybe lazy. But he wife get up early. And you see bird wife wake. Sometimes when you see bird wife wake time come around, you still see a moon. It's moonlight you're going by. My grandmother and her sister, my Ivy, my Aunt Ivy, my great Aunt Ivy, they used to go to town sometimes. And they used to leave before bird wife wake. They left Watson Street and they walked down Old Road. Yes, walk. They never used to ride no car or anything. If they catch a dray cart or a donkey cart, fine. But they walk into town, 12 miles away, and walk back. Those people were strong. But they're going by bird time. So we read the land by bird. So, another scenario is this. You know, we have a mango called Buxton Spice. Let me tell y'all something, friends and family. Buxton, man, we get our own mango, Buxton Spice. And how you just know when Buxton Spice ripe? You smell it? This is not a smell test. You taste it? No, that's not how you just know. You touch it, you squeeze it? You just know when Buxton Spice mango ripe when you see 2 kiskadi and 2 blue saki dip on the mango and they pecking the mango. And so as little children, we want the bird peck mango because we believe that the bird bite mango is the sweetest mango they get, so you lick it down. Yes. Little children and stones in 3 cents. We used to stone all kind of people mangoes. Yeah. And those who had mango tree know. Ask Roxanne Kingston, she know about their mango. At Miss Ferdinand Place. We used to proper eat their mango though. So we just use the land to talk about how we understand when things are ripe. Same thing with bananas and so on. Birds start pecking at it, we know that they're ripe. Now while we're on this business of bird, we have another thing. How we just know when you get good luck? Buxton people, Guyanese people, Trinidadian or whoever listening, German people, how you know you get good luck? Well, we got bird rhetorics, bird understanding. If a bird poop on you, yes, the SHIT on you, you get good luck just so. You're lucky. So that's a good thing. And when they got thing with bird, for give bad luck too. Or not really bad luck, but it just tell things about you that maybe you don't want people to know. We get a bird that does predict pregnancies. You're gonna get pregnancy test. When you grandmother get up at 4 a.m. morning before bird wife wake and she hear the call of a certain kind of bird. Now me know this call, but I hear so. When they hear this bird call, they say, are you pregnant? Mother gone inside, they wake up them girl, pick me, yeah, get up. Who belly big, hey, who belly big? They don't predict because the bird tell them. This bird does call early in the morning, and when they hear that bird call, they can predict or they have a knowledge of who's pregnant in the community. Me no know so, I'm buy them, so me sell them. Well, let me tell you a story with this business with telling people pregnant now. Now on the bird, you know, lizard. You know lizard was there up in your rafter moving up and down? Well, I know a story. So I went to school in a college overseas and I was talking to my friends, you know, we hanging out and so. So while I was lying down, I look up on the ceiling and I see 2 geckos chasing each other. They're going after the insects. So I started thinking to myself, these geckos better don't fall down because I'm scared of geckos when they fall down. I don't like how they feel. However, as I was watching, I realized that these geckos were going to mate. And soon enough, they start to mate. And I thought, bam, bam, they're mating. I said, they better don't fall down here tonight. And no sooner I thought that these 2 geckos, these mating geckos, fell. And when they fell, I said what my grandmother would say. Who pregnant? Silence in this room. Then somebody say, Pauline, what you mean? I said, well, old people say, when mating geckos fall, somebody pregnant. mood change. Everybody began to ask, how you know the, and they started to trade stories, about what they know from their culture. Well, several days later, I didn't think much of it. And a certain girl came to me and said, Pauline, the thing you say is really true? I said, girl, me know my grandmother say so. Well, word got it that she was indeed pregnant. So, those are the kinds of stories we tell. When I tell these kinds of stories, I tell them so that we can explore the literacies of the past, how our ancestors navigated their lives on a daily basis. They didn't have clocks and watches. They used the sun and the moon. They used the stars. They used the birds. They used the water. When you look in the trench and you see like something frothy by a pillar in the trench or a post in the trench or some kind of obstruction in the trench, and you see there's something frothy there, that there's fish spawning there, fish eggs, there are fish there, hassa and stuff like that. And you take a little stick and you kind of shake it in the water, you know how to catch fish. And that's how they existed. When we tell these hidden stories, we remind ourselves of where we've come from and some of the things that matter to our people, so we can better appreciate this phone that we have, that we can just look at our phones and tell time. But there was a time when people didn't do that. We know we can get a pregnancy test to know if you're pregnant, but this bird can tell people pregnant even before they know. So perhaps we can listen to our elders and learn some things that aren't in the book. And left to me, they're going to enter the book so that our children, 100 years from now, can know what we had to say, because we are far from those ancestors who established our village. And if we start to connect, we'll be able to show them where they've come from so they can trace their histories if they want to. Buxton people, friends, walk good.